I will put the hammer down.
Put me up in that algorithm, y'all, and holla at your girl. I'm Queens. I got Queens in the building. I got BX in the building. I got Harlem in the building, and I got the transplant that moved from New York to Atlanta. So New York is in the building, y'all. Yeah, oh, I was on mute all the time. Anywho, look, we're doing Sunday's Throwback.
Yeah, I said you was on mute. I don't think you heard me. Yeah.
So, like, and the movie is Which Way Is Up. We're gonna have a talk about a little nostalgia in here about this whole movie before we actually get into the recap. I wanted to like discuss it because this is one of Richard Pryor's movie. I'm waiting to bring Tamika in. Tamika, can you hear me? Tamika. Hello, hello. Hey, Tamika.
Hey, y'all, I was having some technical difficulties.
I know, me too on my end too. So I almost didn't go.
Hey, Tamika.
And I'm still kind of
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Pretty
we
good.
can hear you.
Okay.
I wanted to talk. We wanted, this is one of the movies that was on our list, right, Tamika?
Yes.
So this is one of the first movies that you see black actors playing more than one character.
Yeah.
He basically is the trendsetter with that.
Yep.
And I wanted to get that out there because he did a lot of physical comedy in this as well. And to me, this was a game changer when he did this movie with all three of these characters. And so many people have followed in suit after this, such as Eddie Murphy,
Absolutely,
Martin Lawrence, and there's plenty of others. And the person that actually was doing this also that nobody talks about. Do you know who that is, Tamika? I know you know because you old school like me.
Who?
Flip Wilson.
Yes.
All right. I know you know, but it probably was on the tip of your tongue or something, right?
Yes.
So, I like this movie because it started off funny from the jump. It started off funny from the jump. But before we get into the recap, let me reel myself back in because I was putting on my track shoes. I gotta let my co-host speak and just tell me the feel and the nostalgia that you get from seeing movies like this. Both of y'all. Whoever wants to go first.
I love this movie. I don't watch it more times than I could count. It's one of my faves. 3 Richard Pryor movies that I watch all the time is this one, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, with him and Gene Wilder. I always thought they was good together. I like most of their movies they have together, to be honest. And then, of course, JoJo Dancer. That's another one I watched a lot. But I watched this one.
And we already covered JoJo Dancer. So
this is definitely one of the ones I like. This is another one that would be considered a cult classic. Like, I think 80% of the audience liked it, but 20% of the critics, and they went hard on this. They said he should have stuck to stand-up. He should have never touched movies and all of that kind of stuff. And on one hand,
they went hard on him when he did this movie. But to me, I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too, but I could probably see what some people didn't like about it because we had a lot of foolishness going on.
We're gonna get to it though. Me and you talked behind the scenes about a lot of stuff, and I'm glad that you did that because that's a segue into the vote that we have. And tonight's vote, I didn't even take a screenshot of it, but please scroll up to the top and cast your vote. Hit the like, hit the share. What I say, Tamika, since you on, put me up in that algorithm, y'all. All right, so
yes,
yes, hit the like, hit the share, put me up in that algorithm, y'all. Inga, I'm coming around to you.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your nostalgia about this particular movie?
Well, I'm a Richard Pryor fan, so I like the movie because of that. But I can see what some critics are saying, because I said this to my son today as I was doing my rewatch, and I said, "This movie is all over the place. If you keeping it really funky and real,
okay,
it's all over the place. We love it because it's Richard Pryor. It's silly, it's goofy, it's all of that. So yeah, especially if you just like comedy and you just want to laugh. If you partake in a little sipping and smoking, you can laugh your butt off.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But if I had to really tear it apart a little bit, it's all over the place. I mean, it's starting off talking about one thing, and then it's about him with all these other women.
Right.
It was a kind of a whole bunch of stuff, and it left some stories
unanswered,
and yeah, it's just kind of all over the place. So, but it's Richard Pryor. We loved it. So I mean, that's but it's I still like it, even though I can at my age now I can say, yeah, I can see some things wrong. I can kind of see some critics saying some things about, I don't think this is one of my favorite movies by him, but I still like it though.
Right.
If I had to make a list, it would be on my list of top movies. Yeah. So.
Okay, now my question tonight is, do you think this movie aged well? And I'm going to give you a reason of why I'm saying that, because a lot of things that happened back then, he looked kind of wild with it now. If I'm just that's how I felt about it. It looks really kind of wild with it now, and we're gonna get down to it when we as we do the recap. We're gonna bring up little moments, and feel free to chime in if you have something that I left out. All right, so let me see who's here. Hey, Vashandria. Hey, Himalaya. Hey, Daria. Hey, Samara. I repeat, I did not. Can somebody put the link in the Discord, so that way they know that we're live over here, on in the group. So, moving on. Okay, DeMarcus said he loves Stir Crazy. What's up, Key?
Hey, Key.
Hey, Key. We haven't seen you in so long.
I miss you.
I'm glad to see you. Look, hit me up on the gram, yo, because I've been trying to, you basically been ghost. You've been out of sight. All right, so hit us up. It's good seeing you. But we're gonna start off with the beginning of this thing. And like I said, it started off funny from the get-go because his life, they're really poor. They live in it. It looked like they live in a trailer. He has
this is poverty here.
Exactly.
They have poverty. Yeah.
I was trying to be politically correct.
It is what it is.
You are on Facebook. I could see your comments, so you can enter in the chat and we'll see everything and we'll be able to commentate on that. So come on, feel free to chime in and join in with us. But this whole thing, it's like the father getting it more than him. All right, the father was getting it more than him.
He sure was.
Yeah, he was getting down. The father was getting down. Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know how I would feel.
And he could hear all of that's going on.
I don't know how I would feel if I heard my mother or my father in the room getting down like that. You know, as a kid, I didn't hear that kind of stuff. I don't even know what was going on, and I still don't want to know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You don't
But
want.
if I heard that, I'd be like, and I don't even care if I'm an adult.
I would be traumatized.
Yeah, that's still regardless. It's your parent. You don't want. I don't even care if you're grown. You don't even want to hear that stuff. No.
Right. So I like the fact it's three things. This scene, when this scene started out, I said, "Oh, that whole choking scene when he did that." I said, "That's not transitioning well."
Well,
it was like, remember when he was trying to get some, and he, put his hand around her throat.
I mean, some people like that.
I mean, look,
sex, people do grab each other and be the choking. People get
right. People terrified.
Orgasms doing that.
I know about that now. They say that
we grown now, so I mean,
we all grown, and they do say when a man, climaxes, goes deaf and blind for 3 seconds. Anywho, so he was trying to get some from Annie Mae. Annie Mae not wanting to give it up, but Papa going in, and then this child come in the room and gonna tell him, my mommy can't get my breakfast because she busy making love to your daddy. Can you
that was crazy. You need the belt. But you need the belt.
He was too grown.
He was too grown. First of all, why the door unlocked? You know what I'm saying? And he needed the belt. But now I want to say something about RC said. He said, "Open your legs." Now, okay, now that part, I can. She choked her and said,
"She said, why you cross your legs?
Open your legs, B." Whatever he had said. Yeah, so
he did that when he choked her. He said that.
Yeah. So no, you're right. That wouldn't go.
Like some of this.
That wouldn't go well today.
Transition well in these times.
There's a lot of movies that would not fit for these times, but for the 70s,
I wouldn't fit for this time because it's one thing to be grabbing somebody by the throat if y'all both in the heat of the climax. But he talking, that's like rape. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like the R word.
I'm sorry, the R word.
I don't think it was a door. I think it was like a curtain. But he made me laugh though when he told him, "You ain't doing nothing. You ain't getting nothing here."
Oh, the father, yes. When he said that. And this is the first time we see one of the additional characters that Richard Pryor plays.
Yeah.
And he plays his dad, and he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And if you follow Richard Pryor's stand-up, this is a character that he's done with his stand-up. It's I think it's called Mudbone. That's the character. That's the voice and all of that. And a lot of people wanted him to bring that character to life from him doing stand-up. They used to ask him to do that a lot. So moving on, y'all. In Tamika. Now he's got this whole thing going on where they're working, right? He got his friends. They have the whole protest thing happen.
Right.
I'm gonna show the clip, and then we're gonna discuss it. And I want you to take it from there. All right. So and here we go, y'all.
You only need one man, hermanos. One man or woman who is not afraid. One worker who is willing to stand up for what he believes. Who's not afraid to make his move.
Leroy done fell on his ass.
So, Tamika. Now they go to work, and this whole thing is they had the roadblock with the people that started the union. Go ahead. I want you to just give me your little synopsis of everything, because to me, he kind of got pushed into this whole situation.
He sure did. He wasn't thinking about no daggone union or fighting for nothing. That wasn't his thing. Chewy was hard into that, but
She was like, come on. Let's go. Let's get down. You get down. No, you get down.
Mhm. He just always found a way to get himself into trouble. Like, I don't know. He was a hot mess. He really was. The last thing that was on his mind was trying to fight for anything. He just was like, an orange picker and calling it a day. And of course, he just always seemed to fall into different situations. Different situations always pop up on him. Just the beginning of one of the situations.
Yes, this was the beginning of the one situation, and how they chased him through the fields. They chased him through the fields. I want to say he disappeared until the next day. He got lost, kinda, and then he ended up home. And they still came and followed him they came to his house to get him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then they at dinner. Well, actually, the next day. He ends up in the paper and they're all discussing this. The father already thinks it's a bad idea.
Right.
The father, he's still funny in this scene because he letting him know he ain't gonna never get none from her.
When in all seriousness, this is actually a serious situation. And this actually things like this happen. This actually happened in real life where these migrant workers were getting paid little to nothing and being mistreated, and they were very poor and impoverished. And so they actually could have taken that story and made it into something serious because it's actually a serious story.
It was just all over the place.
And look it up. It's still been going on even to this day.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So
definitely,
it is a serious issue as far as the unions and stuff like that. I know for myself, I was a person that had a job that was with the union. So those things like this, and now it's becoming worse as the time goes, as far as unions and things like that. They're really trying to disband these things with jobs and where people don't have too much rights or anything like that.
Right.
And people need to go to the meetings and stuff like that when you have these jobs with the union, because a lot of things will get swept under the rug. Things just like in real life now. They got all this distraction going on with us, and then they passing these laws while other things is happening. So we have to be mindful and pay attention.
And in their case, they didn't even want them to have a union because they rather keep you. They rather keep you down, trodden, depressed, no money. I mean, and the man was
struggling,
and the so-called man, whoever, they the ones that's making all the money. But you still living. Look how there was so many people in that house. That was like a shotgun house, and
everybody had to pile up.
And now look, I feel like this movie didn't transition well, but some things still stay the same.
Some of the topics are the same. Yeah,
exactly. What up, love? Hey, I know EJ's in the building, so. We got a little lineup tonight. We're gonna be over there a little later. I don't know if y'all watch All the Queensmen. Come with us. Check us out at 9:00. Come back to my channel or EJ's channel. We'll be doing that tonight at 9. So
there was a good lineup in this movie as well.
It was a good
Margaret
cast.
Avery playing his wife, Anna Mae. Of course, Lynette comes in a little later. Lynette McGee playing Vanetta, and then of course him playing 3 different characters. And we also had a little what would they call those, like a cameo from Paul Mooney. And my son walked in the room at that part. He was like, "Oh, I never seen Paul Mooney this young." I'm like, "You did?"
I knew it was Paul Mooney.
I knew it was him from the beginning.
And there's a lot of people in this movie that played on either Good Time,
I was just gonna say that.
I'm like, I see him on What's Happening. I see him on
these are
all a lot of cameos. A lot of cameos.
Yeah. So now they come to his house, and now this is the first time we see Mr. Man in that ring.
Yeah.
Tamika. What's up with the ring?
I
What's
guess
up
the
with the
ring
ring?
let him know who's in power. Everybody that had that ring, was a part of it. And I
Mhm.
like that he called him Mr. Man, because a lot of people back in the days used to reference when you're talking about, the powers that be and the people above.
Mhm.
The
Mr.
man.
Man.
Exactly. Okay, so now, being that we talked about all of that, who's Raymond Suarez? Y'all know who he is?
Well, he's
That's
supposed
the
to
guy
been
that was
based.
trying to start the union.
There was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and I
That's the
think
guy
it's
that they
based
was
on.
trying to start the union. And,
Yeah, it's
and, and,
based on
and he's
a
really
real
a
guy.
threat to this to Big Corp.
Right.
He's really a threat to Big Corp. They want to basically shut him down. They don't want him talking to the people. And when that whole thing happened, this is why they came for him, because they felt like he stepped off that ladder, and if he steps off, more are gonna step off.
Right. And we
And that
don't want
it
that.
was just by accident that it happened, though. He wasn't really
Exactly.
trying to be a
Yeah.
part of it. He
Mm-mm.
wasn't
Right,
even
so
thinking about it. It was just by accident.
right, they mess up his truck. He leaves town, and voila, he ends up getting a job just because of that whole situation with the painters, and they saw him in the paper, and they found out that he was working with Raymond Suarez. So this was like, it was a good thing for him. He got a job, but he had just his eye on the
Yeah,
man.
he left and went to
But
California, right?
he wasn't thinking about anime no more, or whatever her name
He
No.
was.
wasn't. So
He
what's up
wasn't thinking
with
about her no.
who? Ingo, what did you think about Lynette McKee's character?
Oh, I liked her. I mean, cause she didn't do anything wrong. She had no idea anything about his background and who he was. He was
I
lying
like
to her
her
the
too,
whole
but
time.
I like her too. I like her too. I like her for the simple fact is that she showed him she turned him on to stuff he knew nothing about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because Anna Mae is country. She didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady seemed more cultured and educated, and
Yes,
he was attracted to that. Yeah.
yes. He was attracted to her personality, her
Mm-hmm.
looks, and everything. He just liked everything. Where it was just like, I don't. Let me ask y'all this: do y'all remember? No, you know what? I'm going ahead of myself. I'm gonna pump my brakes. But Tamika, what was your thoughts on her whole character and their meeting and the whole situation with the jogging and things like that?
Well, I love her as an actress. We talked about her with Women of Brewster Place with Sparkle, so there's that.
I know
I
she
just
been on our old school
yeah.
thing 3 times.
Jungle Fever.
I loved her in Jungle
Yeah,
Fever.
Yeah, everything
but
she played on, she was good.
he was going so hard to get her, just being real extra. I liked when she kicked his behind.
Okay, well, Monique says she knew he had a wife though. She did know, but she just was like, "Look,
Yeah,
you
she
with
sure
me now.
did.
You with me now."
He
And
was making it seem like it was just going to be a marriage for appearances, but I was like, really?
I
And
knew he was lying when he said that, but I knew he was lying.
And then it
when he
was
said
funny
that.
too. That's kind of like later, but when he does come back and he make her duck down, but he talking about, yeah, I'm gonna be proud of my wife and son. I said,
Yeah, how you gonna say that and tell her to duck down in the same breath? You tell her to duck down first, and then you said, I'm gonna be proud of my wife, but proud of my family or something like that, because he didn't say wife. He said,
yeah,
I'm not.
my girl and my son, something like
Yeah.
something
He
along
wasn't thinking about her during this time,
So,
though. He
do
wasn't thinking
you
about that
think
wife.
his whole thing with her was stalker-ish? How
It
they got
was.
together, because the way he kissed her and all of that stuff. Do y'all
Mhm.
remember that?
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
she
I just
ended
like,
up
wow,
posting
this
his
is not
behind.
transitioning well, because
Mhm.
this is the second time he's in like a Me Too thing situation.
You see. Wait a minute. Yes, but back in the day, a
That
woman
wasn't
would
a
be
problem
flattered
because
if a man. A woman would be flattered if that's kind of irritates me now that these men. I feel sorry for my son who's 30 years old, and if he's out here trying to find somebody, you got to be careful. You can't go up and say a woman is beautiful. You can't go up and compliment. You can't say nothing.
He was going real hard though.
He was going
I think
real
it
hard,
depends
though.
on the situation.
I mean,
But to be honest, I know me and Moochie was talking about it earlier before we got on, and she was saying she didn't think it aged well. And I could see why some people would say that. But to me, I always looked at it the same way. Even when I was younger, I was like, well, Dad, he sure is like doing a lot and going real hard and being real extra.
It was for nothing. He always had an aggressive approach when he writes something though. Not for nothing. D-Way, the character, had an aggressive approach when he approached anybody. Even the Reverend's wife. Okay, so we already saw how that went down.
Yeah, because he was all hiding behind the tree and then following her and jogging. I mean, somebody did that to me, I would be giving them the side eye too. Like, what you doing?
Yeah, in this day and time, we would. In this day and time, we would. Yes, if we walking down the street, mind our business, and some dude chasing you down or hide behind trees and following you. Yeah, you even look at it different now.
Yeah, because first he tried to play it off and act like he was into the union thing, so that would be a way in. And she just still was kind of like, "Oh, that's good. I'm glad you in. See you later." And then it's like, "Well, let me take it a step further," because she didn't pay me no mind when I said that. That didn't get me where I wanted to be.
Picture and all of that, and him in the paper and.
Right. Yeah, and once she messed his arm up, then he was kind of able to be like, over here playing.
Yeah, I don't agree with him trying to jump when he jumped on and tried to put his tongue down and something. I don't agree with that part.
Yeah, I thought that part was mad. That was more than aggressive. That was like really crazy.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. But I bet you during that time in the 70s, nobody looked at it as aggressive like we're talking about it now.
You know what? And I agree.
We've gotten a lot very sensitive now, extremely sensitive about any little thing that a man do now. So.
Okay, so everybody's agreeing on his approach was aggressive.
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right, so crazy.
He might have got punched by me if he ran up on me like that.
And she had a two-go move right to Mika and flipped him. So she flips him. Mm-hmm. His arm is, so to say, messed up, but really not.
Right.
And he actually gets in with this, and they end up becoming a couple. They end up becoming a couple. Meanwhile, Anna Mae is living her life.
Yeah, Anna Mae getting out in them streets now, honey.
With Miss Perry. She got sexy looking and everything. Yeah.
With Miss Perry. She been around for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. Yes. Yeah.
She ended up she got herself a car. She got a job. She working. She on out dancing. So she's doing her thing, living her life, writing them letters. But we don't.
Because wait a minute. Let me go back a little bit. Let me ask y'all a question. So when he left town, it was to get away from the white man, right? White even knew he was gonna get out of town.
Right.
Okay. Because it wasn't like he just ran it. They knew he was leaving town.
They wrecked his truck. And they gave him a bus ticket and they told him to leave town. Basically, leave town or we gonna make you leave permanently.
Yeah.
That's how that's how they was trying to make him run so that way he doesn't do anything with this union nonsense. Excuse me, y'all. But she's living her life. She's living her life and everything. Meanwhile, these two done had a baby.
Yeah.
Where's my pet? Oh man. Once again. She has a baby with him. They end up having a baby. They're a couple. And then he gets called in by the man, Tamika. They offer him a position. He basically was able to buy his wife a house.
Yeah.
And he got his side piece living somewhere else.
Yeah. This was frustrating too at the same time, even though some parts of it was funny. It was like y'all said, he had to leave from there and go start, working. You're supposed to be worried about working and getting away from these people that's trying to take you out. But then you get mixed up with, Vanetta, and you have a whole baby with her, build a life with her, and now you actually having to go back closer to where your father and real wife is or legal wife is, and move close to them with the new family that you done started. I don't know how he thought he was gonna hide all of this and keep all of this stuff under wraps and be able to control over all of it. It was
I
like
didn't understand that either.
you knew it was a mess waiting to happen.
It was just a mess. Once the house thing happened, and that's why I called this part. Once it gets here, more money, more problems, because he gets her the house. They're having like a whole little celebration thing. And next thing you know, they talk about how often she doing it, when she doing it, and da 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 da. Ooh, ah, ah. And the rumors going around.
Yeah.
Rumors going around that he's in the light.
Yo, that part had me cracking up.
They basically was thinking he was gay. And he was like, no, and I'm going to show my friends that I'm not. That was the crazy part to me.
It was. The whole thing was crazy. Like, first when he got home, that part makes me laugh. Because he was like, damn, Anime. He see her now with her little cute outfit and her, shape looking all good. And she ready for him. She ain't the way she was when he left. So
she's like not even the same person.
Exactly.
When she comes back. She look like, now, why isn't he questioning who teaching you this? She's talking about she read it in magazines.
Like, baby, I've been in Cosmopolitan. I've been getting out here. I've been doing thing. It's a whole new person. So he thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be easy.
When he told Vanetta, like, oh, don't worry about it. Ain't nobody think about Anime. I got her under control. And so I said, oh, no, baby, you ain't got me under control. That part was hilarious to me. And then the fact that he went and brought all his friends there, like, oh, no, you think I'm gay. I ain't gay. I've been getting it in. And they see this, and not one person out the bunch said, yo, this is crazy or this is wrong. Everybody was kind of bigging him up like, oh, he the man. He done got a higher position in the job. He got 2 of everything, 2 women, 2 house. They was bigging
really
him up. But one thing I did notice is when he said to all the friends, let me show y'all around the house, everybody got up and went to see the house. But Chewy stayed back with her, talking about, oh, you into the union too? And I said, And he was looking at that picture, him talking about, I remember that day.
Yeah. I wonder if he's thinking, if I did this, I would have had this life. So moving on, he goes, basically, his job requires him to make a quota. And he brought in his boys. I mean, that was the best thing he do. He got them off of the hot trees. He got them out of the field. He bought his poison. And he was just like, long as I keep this quota, me and y'all is good.
Right.
But he had to act different when he was around when he saw the boss, the man watching.
Yeah, no doubt.
He had to be different,
But it didn't even start out like that. At first, everything was going good. They were working. They was basically, happy to be out of that situation that they was in, and they're making more money. So they was happy about that. But Chewy still wants to start up this union. He's like, now that you got your foot in the door, now we could do a whole bunch of stuff. We could stop this and that. He's like, I'm not doing that union stuff. And he couldn't figure out why at first. Then we get to their whole situation with home back at home. And I gotta ask you this before we go a little further, Tamika. I'm gonna ask both of y'all. And what did Vanita? Why is this? Okay, can y'all see that? Okay, what did Vanita want Leeway to promise?
She basically wanted him to promise he was never gonna be with Anime. She was like, I'll ride with you and go with you and stand by you, through and through, as long as you don't do that.
As long as he be faithful to her.
Right. So every time he went home, he was acting like, oh, I'm so tired. It's such a long day.
But she turned into a one now.
She said, oh, I know what you need.
Anime turned into a wild woman right here. I mean,
And
I
he
said,
was
go
fighting
get
her
Mother
off.
Avery. Mother
Yeah.
Avery body was looking good back then.
Yes.
Oh,
I
And
said,
he
yeah.
wasn't expecting that. He thought he was just gonna be able to do this easy, come on in, say I'm tired. No, she done paid for the family to go out to see a film, and she like, let's get it on, okay?
Yeah. Oh, she wasn't playing. I mean, and when she when she put the handcuffs on him up against the headboard, I died laughing. I said,
He
this
was like, oh.
she turned into a wild woman. I mean, she was like an Amazon woman. She's like, I mean, she pulled out the whips and then with the vibrator.
Oh, she was out of control, yo.
She was out of control. Yeah, the vibrator was out of control. That was out of control.
But he's not even questioning her behavior. That's the crazy part to me. Because she wasn't acting like that before. Before that, she was approved. Am I right or wrong?
No, that was
Well, he's
fact.
not even questioning like
she was a little country girl. Yeah, she wasn't doing that. She
Yeah.
wasn't even they wasn't even Holly having sex at all. So yeah, he should have been suspicious.
So now that that happened, then we get this part. Hold on, let me go to this because this was funny to me too.
Ma, Uncle Leroy's playing horsey.
Get back, children. Outside. Come on. Outside.
Holy Jesus! Holy Jesus! Boy, I done turned into a freak just like his mama. Oh, God, Lord, have mercy. Annie Mae, God, you... Damn, Annie Mae, you sure is built.
Oh, God.
And then not only that, he was like, look, get the whips and chains for later.
Right. Right. We can use those.
The granddaddy is freaky.
We're going to use that later.
Yes.
The granddaddy is freaky. The granddaddy is freaky. He's like,
yes.
He said, yeah, we gonna use that later on.
Lord.
Back at work, the wrong thing. I'm sorry, y'all. So meanwhile, back at work, one of the machines break down. And they're telling him it's not safe. But once again, he see that flashy ring. And he wants to crack the whip on his guys.
Yeah.
And they ready to walk off the job.
Right.
But they started looking at him side-eyed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what was the quote that Tamika, the quote that he said to him was, Chewie said to him was, which way is up, knucker? Because he said, you're gonna see us on the way down. So you gotta be careful with what you do with people on your way up.
Yeah. So even though this movie did have like just crazy stuff and stuff that was all over the place, it was those messages in there. Like, don't forget about where you started at, where you come from, the people that's, helping you and all of that.
The crazy part was with the stuff with the women. If they had just focused on this, it probably would have been aged better. But the women part it was so much going on with all the women and that was just wild. All of that was wild.
You know what was crazy to me? When her friend, I didn't even know her friend worked there. Because at first, wasn't she working at the Five and Dime with her?
Yeah.
So he got her a job too and brought her in.
Yeah.
So he got her a job. So he figured if he get her a job, his, I guess, wifey would be all right. But that did not transition well either. It was like she's telling him things that's going on with her. And woo, the ish done hit the fan, y'all.
Yes.
Come to find out she is pregnant. And she is pregnant by her spiritual advisor. Tamika, you want to chime in on this?
But wait a minute, did we jump ahead? Then they had they were all sitting at the barbecue first?
Yeah, I mentioned that already. And remember we talked about that.
Oh, okay.
That's when they whispering and stuff. First of all, I said, what kind of friend go and tell
Everybody was whispering in his face.
Right? Yeah, he was watching everything happen.
It was like they all was talking about him. So they all started the rumor about him. And then in this case, she comes to the job and tells his friends, and then they all run and they go get him, and they telling him, oh, I want you to, talk to you about this person. She's something like Anime. First, she was just saying as a person like Anime. And then she talks about, them going to the spiritualizer and all that. And then she just kind of comes out with it like, it is Anime. Anime is the person, and she's pregnant by Reverend Lennox. And the whole thing was weird to me. I was like, why would you go tell his friends this? And why are you telling him? And then the audacity of him to be mad and be like, y'all gonna see where I'm going. And it's
because the audacity is no matter what, I might be out here,
right?
I might be
and that's how it used to be.
You ain't supposed to be doing that. You supposed to be home, be on my wife, doing what I tell you to do.
Right?
How the hell you gonna go out here and have a relationship? That's how.
So now the whole, where his mind frame is supposed to be, that just goes out the window, and now he got a one-track mind about Anime. But
that's right. Okay, that's right.
So what y'all think about the whole blowout with Anime and Leroy?
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
That kitchen scene, that's real. People get down.
She was about to chop him up.
She was about to chop him up. She said M-word. She went off. She cussed him out, called him all kind of M-words and everything.
Because she went from crying and feeling bad and feeling guilty and feeling like
she was the problem.
She was like, you mean to tell me you got somebody across town?
Exactly. Yeah.
We can't even say all the stuff on here that she was saying.
Exactly.
No. That's why I had to be careful with certain stuff. I didn't want to show the other little.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. What up, Detroit?
I mean, that's the audacity that he had. He thought that it's okay for me to be out here doing that, but not my wife. No, you supposed to be home cooking and cleaning and taking care of the family, So
yeah, because like I said, even with that situation, not one friend was like, "Yo, you out of pocket." And then when it was the reverse way, and now he finding out.
They was up here. This calls for a toast.
Exactly.
They was happy for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they was happy for him.
Yeah. They was happy for him as far as him having
I ain't trying to jump ahead.
They like, oh, he got two of everything. I don't know how he do it.
Exactly.
It seemed like the other one, Chewy, was kind of like hating on him.
Mm-hmm. And then even when it was the opposite way, nobody. Even when it was the opposite way, none of them stopped him from going after Anime. They just, they was trying to intervene later when she was trying to chop him up, but.
She grabbed him by his tie. She was trying to choke him. I mean, she was trying to rip him apart. So,
you know what I
can't really blame her.
Now, this foiled assassination attempt on him, and he foiled it, and this is how he got the job. What do you feel like he should have had some more interaction? This is what I was kind of, remember we was talking about with the movie that it was all over the place? Yeah. I felt like he had no interaction with the union guy, and he should have had more with that to me.
That to me, they should have focused less on him trying to get revenge with the Reverend and all that.
That's when it went off the rails to me.
That could have been cut out. If we was redoing this movie today, some of that stuff we should focus more on the migrant workers, the union, and get more involved on all of that stuff, because this is like the mob and all that kind of thing.
Right. Because you went from that's why I was saying you went from your life being threatened and you having to literally pick up and leave somewhere that you knew all your life to getting over here to working, and then having to come back there, and every time you turn around you see one of these rings, you about to lose your daggone mind. They calling you into these offices and everything. And even when Paul Mooney character shows up for a minute as the inspector. He was 1 minute like, oh, I saw everything. I'm gonna tell y'all everything. I know everything. Soon as the inspector showed up and he saw that ring, he was like, oh, it was a small person with two others.
It was a midget.
Yeah, you know, I didn't want to say, but then he said 2 midgets that was tall. I said, huh? Yo, he was a mess. He hurried up and switched that story.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know nothing. Then he told him he could go. So it was like, y'all threw all of that into that, but y'all didn't really go.
Yeah, I know. If this movie was redone, they could make this a little more juicier and cut out some of the other parts.
But
yeah.
I wouldn't even want them to do this over.
No, I don't want them to. I was just saying.
I don't
want them to.
I had a I'll talk about it backstage, but we'll talk about it later. But I feel like if you could fix it, that's the part I would fix.
Yeah, absolutely,
because,
absolutely.
He with this whole thing, it just went left because it was more into him. They focused more on him getting his get back, like Tamika said.
Yes,
with his wife and him pursuing the Reverend's wife, and she already knew what was going down, and she was just waiting for somebody like this to come along.
The Reverend's wife, Miss Sarah, she already knew what was happening.
Oh yeah, she knew. You know, when it's those type of churches, everybody gossiping and everybody know about everything, and we obviously saw when of course later down the line that it was multiple women that he was doing this with.
It was half the church.
Yeah, this wasn't nothing new. But even the way he went after her, it was the same kind of thing that when he went after Vanessa, it was the same thing. Like he was so hard.
Yeah, but that thing still goes on to this day. These ministers sleeping people in the church. Yeah,
absolutely. I know somebody that was ready to cut somebody in the church. Yeah. Listen, you go always hear those stories.
They got a nerve to be talking to people and they doing the same stuff. So I don't have time for it.
Was trash.
Yeah, he was trash. There was a lot of trash people in here.
Oh yeah.
So now, at the end, Chewy,
speaking of trash people, Tamika, because we don't have that much time, but we know that his life now is in shambles with all of this going on, and now everything at his happy place with Vanita is starting to suffer. He's not able to get up.
Yeah.
He's not able. He's like, he don't know if he coming or going. Chewy is coming there helping every now and then. But this is when we start seeing Chewy over there a little bit too much.
Yeah. He was becoming a shoulder for her to lean on, so to speak. He, like you said, couldn't get up. And at first she was being understanding, like, it's okay, baby, it happens sometime. And he like, nah, it don't happen to me. And he would be coming in tired, leaving out tired. He was just drained because
Chewy and her had something in common, which was the farmers thing. She was in support of that.
She was just passionate about it, like Chewy. She was very passionate about it. And remember, that was his end.
Exactly.
And then come to find out, you working for the man now.
Right.
But the thing is, he was never passionate about it. He was just doing that to try to give her. That was actually true. He was
exactly.
I think she didn't see him as a fraud yet.
No.
As far as that goes. And she wasn't even worried about that because he kind of gave her a little better life where she was living. So she was all right with it. She got a baby and things of that nature. But now it's starting to suffer. And let us know, Tamika, how did Vanita find out about everything?
Well, first of all, at the rate he was going, I'm sure the whole town was talking about it. And I feel like Chewy probably came and told her what was happening, because they just all, I don't know, they friends and stuff was too much in the mix for me personally. Like I said,
and you telling your friends how many times a week y'all
they all gossiping about you right in front of your face at the bar.
Your business about your relationship. No,
you don't tell your friends your business about your bedroom.
No, nothing.
Yeah, it was too much of that. We seen it at the barbecue where they all talking right in front of his face about him. Then we seen it at the job when they come in to talk about anime. So you already know that they're gonna, as soon as they hear something or know something, they gonna go and talk about it. I mean, at this point, he was pretty much going overboard with the preacher's wife. He was so, obsessed with that.
Yeah, he was very obsessed. I mean, he kept, following her in the store and lying about the piano lessons, and it took multiple days.
Yeah,
probably weeks. Probably when he was going after Miss Sarah.
Yeah,
I feel like
Miss Sarah was time enough for his behind.
Exactly.
Yeah, she basically, to me, that was his downfall. When he went to go do that whole revenge thing, that's when stuff got out.
Exactly. He got too obsessed with that.
With everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of you trying to actually make it right with Anna Mae from beforehand, or putting any type of energy into that, or if you was gonna be with Lynette, putting energy into that, you over here messing with this lady for her husband messing with Anna Mae, who you saying you don't want to do anything with because you're supposed to want. I'm like, make it make sense.
Look, I know y'all were laughing at the point when Miss Sarah put up them dukes and she said, "Come on, sucker."
Yes.
She was fighting him. She was like, boop, boop. She was
giving it to him.
She had the stance like a boxer. Like she was used to fighting men before. Like that.
Remember, that was Bookman's wife.
Yes.
Absolutely. That was Bookman's wife. Yeah. I mean, she was about ready to give him a 2-piece and a biscuit.
Exactly. Yeah.
She said,
played himself with that.
Get some clothes off and get in this bed. She told him what to do.
Monique said Leroy was petty on that revenge plot.
He was. It didn't make no sense.
Yes, yeah. And you see how Miss Sarah had that trailer rocking up and down?
Did you see how the trailer did like a seesaw?
She said, "No, you're gonna put a baby up in me."
So let me ask y'all this: what was the funniest part to y'all out of this whole movie? And Inga, which was you could go, it doesn't have to be just one. You can name more than one.
Well, I just said that Miss Sarah stuff was hilarious. I just burst out laughing with all that.
Yes.
That probably was the funniest for me. And then when Miss Anna Mae with the tying him up to the bedpost and all that, and the father walked in on him, that was crazy. Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah,
that with the kid too. He had his little funny punchline.
Yes.
And when he was like, "She's playing horsey," that was funny. You know what else was funny to me too? The father. Anytime when he said something, I was laughing. So
when Anna Mae threw that knife and it hit the door, and everybody fighting and pulling on the door.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. There's a few in here that make me laugh, but the father definitely makes me laugh. And that part when Anna Mae realized, like, wait a minute, you said you got a family across town, and she throw that knife as he getting ready, she like running. Yeah, I laugh every time.
Okay, so what about the flat coffin?
Yes, that was funny too. I said not a flat coffin.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
And even when he goes into the church and he's saying, oh, this man got my wife pregnant, he like, oh, your wife has laid with another man and all that.
When the whole church came running out there chasing him around the whole block.
Yeah,
that was crazy. I mean, everybody in the church turned on him. Even the men, everybody turned on him.
Yeah, because he was like doing it with everybody.
Everybody. He was just scamming everybody, just lying.
So I guess we don't. Basically, at the end, they show him, and he done lost everything.
Oh yeah, because at the funeral, everybody turned their back on him. Anna Mae rolled off, said she Chewy got with the what's her name? With Vanessa. Yes. I mean, everybody turned their back on him. He had no more friends, and his family ain't bothered with him. So
sometimes it don't pay to be living a lie. So we're gonna round it off, I guess. Everybody talked about their favorite parts. we already talked about what changes we would like to make to the movie. We talked about what stuff we loved in the movie. We'll be back in, Tamika, how many weeks? Like, what is it, the third week? Because I kind of messed this up. I was actually supposed to go last week, but I was away. What is the next movie is on Tamika. Tamika, I don't know where she's at.
Yeah, that's gonna be Coffee Brown. That's our next one, right? Coffee.
Oh
We
yeah,
That's gonna be our next one.
yes.
And then it'll be time for me to put up a new poll and see, what order the next, couple gonna be.
All right, so since we doing Coffee Brown, this is our new thing. We're gonna put it up in the community tabs. I want to see y'all best Coffee Brown look, women.
Oh goodness!
Get y'all best Coffee Brown looks. Take a selfie and send and DM us in Instagram, or I don't even think you can leave pictures in YouTube. So y'all look, you see all our Instagram, all our handles and stuff. DM us your best coffee impression. All right, your best Pam Grier impression, y'all. All right, so that's what we going with. And with the fellas, what we gonna have them do, Tamika? I'm gonna let you set it off. Are we gonna let them try to dress like players? What are we doing?
I guess so.
Look, if y'all could give us y'all pimp looks, do so. Look, Coffee Brown, y'all got what? We got 3 weeks. What?
It's usually the fourth Sunday. It's just that this month was a long month, y'all.
Yeah, that's why we got thrown.
It was 5 weeks in this month, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so and this is 31 days to August. So look, we gonna figure it out. Yeah, I know Struggles is my girl, and she makes it fun. We gonna make it fun. Where we want to see if y'all could get into the fun. Hey, Struggles. Because she be doing her little thing, but yeah, we gonna try to freak it this time. And we've been dying to do these black exploitation movies, and now it's getting started. We getting into that bunch because it's a lot of movies we put up where y'all voted, and that's where we going with this. But that is our show for tonight. Tamika, what you got going on your channel, boo?
There's a couple different things going down, guys. About to get busy. Just keep your notifications on. I think I'm supposed to join Moochie, EJ, and them to talk about all the Queen's men. We gonna get into the messiness and foolishness of that. And Wednesday will be my sister's. Thursday is our Thursday night with the ladies. We gonna be doing a movie night. Moochie, myself, and EJ. And some more stuff.
It's EJ's turn.
Yeah, EJ. I think she's doing Deadly Entanglement, if I'm not mistaken.
Deadly Entanglement. That's what we are
doing.
So
y'all check that out, so y'all be able to join us for the live discussion.
What's that on? That movie?
That is on BET Plus.
Yeah, BET.
Oh, BT Plus. I don't have BT Plus.
No, I'm sorry. It's Coffee. That's what I was doing. I was kind of combining Coffee and Foxy Brown together, but it's Coffee, even though Foxy Brown is on our list too.
Oh, both of them is.
What's up, Montana Max? All right, so that's the next movie we doing Coffee. It'll be in 4 weeks. It'll be Tamika is the host of that one. And we're gonna be doing some other stuff. You finished Peaky Blinders, RC?
Oh, you went through that fast, RC. Right.
Okay. Okay, so now look, we're gonna be at 8:00, 8:05. I'm doing the wire with Miss K, and then I'm gonna be over here with EJ and them at 9. So please keep your notifications on. Holla at your girl. Put me in that algorithm. Thank you for coming out. God bless y'all. I'm so glad y'all came to the channel today, and thank you all for your support. And see y'all later.
All right, y'all.